There we go.
Number 7.
Show number 7. This is our 7th show.
7th show.
Yes, you think we would know what we're doing by now.
We have no clue.
We don't. Yes, hey, this is Jim and that's Warren, and this is Talking Vintage, coming to you from 502 West Brennan Road in Lakeland, Florida. That's Decades Reclaimed Vintage Depot.
It is.
I guess I should put that out there.
Have, yeah.
Yep. Our phone number here is area code 863-608-7672.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, you can give us a call. You can message us on Facebook. We would really like it if you would just comment down below.
Send us a question.
Down there, yeah. You got a question for us, comment, or concern? Down there, yeah.
The concern.
Yeah, a concern, yeah. You never heard that before?
I
Question,
have.
comment, or concern?
Yeah. He may be talking about us.
All right, so this is Talking Vintage. What is Talking Vintage?
We are
Obviously, it's a show about vintage.
It is.
Yeah.
I think we really try to inform new customers, old customers, anybody that wants to.
Informative and entertaining.
Entertaining.
Yeah, vintage by two vintage dudes. Yeah. Vintage dudes. You know, we use a tag. It's called Old Guys Are Cool.
It's us.
Hashtag Old Guys Are Cool. I don't know anybody would look that hashtag up, but that is our hashtag, Old Guys Are Cool. All right, well, now we told you who we are and what we're doing. We're going to talk about some events because we are here at Decades, and we're going to talk about some events that Decades has coming up. First of all is our craft fair, and that's on the 9th of April. Yep, and it'll be from 9 to 1. And this is our 3rd craft fair. We did 2 last year, and this is our first one this year. And I'm not going to say the year because last time I said the year, I messed it up. It's 22. Yeah, it's 22.
How many vendors do you know are going to be there?
I don't know how many. I think last time I talked to her, which was a couple weeks ago, she had half. I think she still has some space available. So if you're interested in doing the craft fair, give us a call, message us, comment down below. She might have a few spots left. And then the next one we have, which is coming up. Ooh, I don't remember the date. Let me refer to my papers. Of course, I didn't write it on my... No, I wrote it on my paper. You have paper? You don't have paper.
I don't have paper.
No. He doesn't have any paper. He doesn't take notes.
I go...
He just wings everything. On the 11th. On the 11th. That's this... coming Friday. Yeah, this coming Friday.
March, right? March 11th.
Yes, this Friday. Yeah, today's the 8th of March.
That's right.
And then this coming Friday, on the 11th, from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m., we are going to have our Luck of the Irish sale. Can you do an Irish accent?
Nope.
You know, it's kind of funny. I was watching videos, and I was watching Glee. Do you remember Rory on Glee, the Irish kid?
Yeah.
Okay, he does a really good Irish accent. You know why?
Because he's Irish.
Because he's Irish, yeah, that's right. And my phone keeps singing, I want to apologize. Yeah, so anyways, so we have the Luck of the Irish sale coming up on the 11th. That's this Friday from 5 until 8 p.m. Everybody gets 10% off anything that's regularly priced. And then you automatically get 10% back in our Decades dollars, our cash. And we're going to talk some more about those at the end of our show today. But you're going to get 10% off and 10% back and a chance to get 20% back, actually. Whoa. And that's the Luck of the Irish sale, similar to what we did on our Valentine's sale in February when we did our Sweetheart Deal sale. It's going to be similar to that. It was a big success in February, so we're bringing it back in March.
Do you have to be Irish to
No.
To come? You could be anything?
You can be anything. And you can wear green if you want to.
Oh, okay, cool.
That sounds like a song. Yeah. Wear green if I want to. Yeah. Leave my friends behind, because if my friends don't dance, or if they don't wear green, whatever. I'm not singing. I'll make everybody quit watching the show if I do that. All right, so let's see. Last week we had a call-in guest. That was really cool.
Yeah, call-in guests were
good. Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, she talked about stuffies, stuffed animals or whatever. She was a big collector back in the day, and she talked about them a little bit. You could go back. That was show number 6. You can watch that and get an insight on those if that was something that you're interested in. We did the vintage or the vendor corner to help out people who are vendors, and we talked about tags. Yeah, and we talked about brass. We talked about how it was hot and it was selling hot, but we also talked about how it's a pain to clean.
Yep.
Yeah, you remember how to clean it?
Ketchup. And salt.
Ketchup,
vinegar, and
all them things.
Brasso.
Brasso is the hard way, but yes, it all works. Yeah.
Okay, right.
What's the best way to clean it?
Don't.
Don't clean it. There you go. You remembered. All right. Okay, and then we had our question and answering time too. Oh man, my phone's going to keep dinging here. Quit. All right, so moving on. Today's topic, our vintage topic, is man cave.
Ooh.
Man cave.
Man.
You know, because somebody asked last week about, do we have stuff for guys?
Yeah,
And we got lots of stuff for guys.
Do,
Not that, you know, you say man cave and you think, okay, well, this, that, and the other. But that's not, all the stuff is not limited to just guys or girls, really. But we do have man cave items. We have signs. We have gas cans. We got some, Warren's got some down here. We've got oil cans. We've got rusty, crusty stuff. What else is man cave that you can think of?
I saw a couple of jerseys.
Yeah, we got jerseys, sports memorabilia. We got a few things like that.
You could do records in a man cave.
Yeah, you could hang them on the wall.
Yeah. You can play them and listen to them.
Man cave, as far as vintage goes, has been trending for a while now. I got into the vintage business years ago, and that was my target, was man cave.
Was it really?
Yep, wow. I you know, signs and stuff like that. I'm big on signs. I got signs all over this room, probably. And by the way, we're in a storage room. This isn't reflective of the shop. The shop is much neater than all this junk we have around us.
Should we put a sheet back?
Yeah,
there
but
so
they won't let us do the show anywhere else in the store. That's kind of sad that they won't let us.
It is.
We have to go into a closed room to do our show. But anyways, back to man cave. Yep, man cave is anything you want to put in your man cave. Barware, neon lights, all that kind of stuff. And we have that here at Decades, and it's trending. Neon sell well. Porcelain signs, tin signs. You know, geez, just about everything. Everything that's rusty, crusty, old that you'd find in a garage. We have it here, and it sells, and you kind of put it in the man cave category. But you know, girls can get neons too. You know, I have one regular buyer that she's a girl. She buys lots of signs. Every time she comes in, she gets a new one. Nice. Really cool. Nice. All right, so that's it for you know, the vintage area of it. You know, talking about man cave. We're going to move on to our question and answers. Some of these questions are pretty good, but then we get some that are just way out there. The first one I would consider a good question. Does pewter sell?
Oh, I think it's gotten hot. It's right up there with brass.
Yeah, it sells. It sells well. You know, metal as a whole sells, but brass has been doing really well lately. And pewter, I sold a ton of it at Christmas time. I know we have different pieces of pewter in here, and I know they sell. So pewter does sell. And then another question, and this is one of those weird questions. Do you have a recipe for queso?
Open up a jar.
There you
Fritos or somebody like that makes it, right?
Yeah,
Frito-Lay or something like that?
Yeah, no.
Open up the jar.
No, we don't have a recipe for queso. This is talking vintage, not cooking vintage. Cooking vintage.
Cooking vintage.
Cooking vintage. That sounds like Mom's old recipes. Those are vintage, and they still work today. Okay, we get a lot of questions about does this sell or that sell, and this is another one of those. Does costume jewelry sell? And yes and no. Yes, it sells individual pieces, but a lot of times people bulk it up and they sell it, and those people that are buying that, the bulk stuff, tear it apart and make new stuff out of it. So upcycled or.
And they're hoping to find that diamond in the rough.
I don't know. You know, you're not going to find much precious metals or diamonds in costume jewelry. That's why it's called costume.
By accident, though.
And perhaps people are buying it. I don't know. But so it does sell, and it has been selling for a while. And then our last question, which probably shouldn't go to either of us, but I did a little research. How do you tell if something's hand stitched? You know, like handmade. And it's the style and the pattern of the stitch.
The stitch itself?
Yeah, the style and the pattern of it. The accuracy, you know, I guess the machine's going to be the same each and every time.
Right.
And then, you know, a hand stitch will be off a little bit. And maybe necessarily you wouldn't use a style of stitch in a machine that you would by hand, and vice versa. And the pattern of a hand one's going to be different than a machine one. But so it's basically the style, the pattern, and the accuracy is how to tell. And now, you know, of course, you could ask the question again, well, what is the style, the pattern, and the accuracy? And we wouldn't know.
We could maybe show an example of the stitch. Maybe.
We have people in the shop that know a lot more than we do when it comes to that type of thing. And we all kind of have our own little areas that we get into, and we're kind of not experts. No, I don't know how you're an expert in this and vintage at all. But anyways, we have our niches, and we tend to stay in them, and we know a lot about them. All right, so we're going to move on. That's the end of our question and answer. Now it's time for show and sell.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Warren.
Okay.
You can go first.
Can I go first?
You can go first. Yep.
Got one.
You got one.
A Playboy bunny swizzle stick.
A real Playboy.
A real Playboy. It's embossed in there.
Okay, well, you got to go closer.
Closer.
Playboy bunny swizzle stick.
And it does say Playboy.
Yeah. What's the price on that?
$5.
$5. I didn't get stuff with price. I just wanted to kind of show you. I'm going to show you Tupperware. We have lots of Tupperware here in the store. We got bowls like this. We've got sandwich containers like that. We've got stacks of cups. We have a lot of Tupperware. So if vintage Tupperware is your thing, come in. We've got a bunch of that. You know what the great thing about these Tupperware bowls?
You can use them.
Yeah, you still can use them. It doesn't matter how old they are. All right, your turn.
Okay. I got American Magazine.
Oh, very nice. When did that
This is
come
an old
out?
one. This is from, where did the date go? October? I don't have a date on it. I don't have a date on it because it's in the cellophane here.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I don't have the date. People like this, though. It's $5 because of the ad sometimes.
Right, yeah. They
like
like the old ads. Yep. Next I have up is a Stein. And we have lots of different Steins in the store. Again, this I'm not giving you an individual item. I'm kind of telling you generally that we have Steins. Several vendors have Steins in here. This is a cool one. It's got the top on it. It's got the metal on it. Something like this would probably run, I would think, like $10.
Probably.
Yeah, close to $10.
And if you want a beer in it, it's what, 12?
Well, we don't serve beer.
We can't serve beer.
We can't serve beer here.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay. This here is, I think it's mid-century.
Looks like it's
right?
mid-century model.
Right? And this comes with 4 cups and 4 plates. But I can't get to the plates because they got stuff on it.
That's all right. You
Wanna
see,
see the plate?
just show the pattern.
Okay,
Yeah,
see the pattern?
Yeah.
They're not
these
branded.
they're older pieces, and there's 4 cups and 4 plates. And what's that sell for?
That sells for $35.
$35. Okay, well, I was ill prepared for the show today,
No,
so I didn't.
usually it's me.
I know, but I'm going to go back to what I did first. More Tupperware. Got lots of Tupperware. This is a storage area too, so all this stuff is just coming in. But yeah, so plenty of Tupperware here at the shop. We have a couple vendors that have a few pieces of it, but then the Twins Boutique, which was featured on Charlie Belcher. If you watch Channel 13, he was here on the 4th of February, that Thursday, the first Thursday, and he interviewed them, and you can see all the Tupperware they have. But here's some more Tupperware it's going out in the shop. So that's the end of our show and sell. That's the end of show and sell.
Yep.
Now we're going to move on to our vendor corner, and we're going to talk about booths today. To be successful as a vendor, you got to keep it clean.
Yep.
You have to keep it fresh. Now, what's fresh mean to you?
Well, you just got to move some things around and don't have the same stuff on the shelf for a length of time.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you got to freshen it up. If you notice when people walk into a place like ours, they're walking up to each booth in the same direction, pretty much. The same direction. So you have a focal point that they see first. You need to change that. Otherwise, when they come in, they look and they see the same thing they did last time and they think, I already looked at that. And they move on. But if you take that focal point and you change it, they're like, oh, I didn't see this last time. And then they look into the whole booth.
Yep.
The whole booth.
Yep.
So you got to keep it fresh. You have to have a variety. You got to have a wide variety. You can't just have all the same stuff. Like we talked about the Twins Boutique and them having the Tupperware. It's not all Tupperware. They have tons of different things in there. But they have it, and they have it grouped too. Grouping's good. The Tupperware's together. Pyrex together. I'm just thinking of their booth. Tupperware, Pyrex, clear glass all together. They have that, the vintage party light all together. They just have everything all together, like strawberry stuff, because we're in Central Florida and we're next to Plant City, which is the home of the Strawberry Festival. So they're strawberry. But anyways, so you got to do that. You got to keep it fresh. You got to keep the variety. You got to group it, and you have to most of all keep it well stocked. If Warren, if you sell 20 items this month, how many items you got to put back?
20.
21. You got to put more.
Well, I would do more than that.
Yeah, you got to put more.
At least 20.
And 20 is really a bad number. I mean, you probably sell well over 100 a month.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, sell over 100 a month. You got to put 100 back. If you're not, then you're just not going to get ahead. You're going to fall behind. All right, so that's it for our vendor corner. Now we're going to move on to do. We said we're going to try to do something different this week. Mm-hmm. Last week we said that we didn't know if we could get a guest on or a phone-in guest or anything, but we're doing something new. It's kind of new. Well, it's new and it's not because we did this before. We did the 5 for 5. I think that was back in show number. Was it number 5?
I think so. I think that we coordinated with the number 5th show.
Yeah. So we did the 5 for 5. If you guys don't remember that, it was in the 5th show where we gave away 5 of our Decades dollars to the first 5 people who tagged 5 people in the comments and shared the post. That's all we asked for, to get the $5, and it went over really well. So this time we are going to do our 10 for 10.
But it's the 7th show.
No, I'm not going to do 7. I thought 10. We're going to double it up. We're going to make it better. So the first 10 people who tag 10 people in the comments, it's got to be 10, and they got to be tagged. So we have to see the hyperlink. That means they were actually tagged in there. You can't just fictitiously make up names. On our side, they will be a different color. They'll be hyperlinked. So if you don't understand what that means, they have to be on Facebook in order for you to do it. But you're going to do 10. And sometimes Facebook won't let you do a whole 10 in one comment. You can put 5 in one comment, 5 in another. But a total of 10. The first people who tag 10 people in the comments and share the post will get 10 of our Decades dollars to use. You have to pick them up no later than this Friday at our
That's the
Luck of the Irish event. Yeah, we'll be open until 8 o'clock. You have until Friday to pick those up. We will tell you, we'll announce the winners. Today is the 8th. We'll announce the winners on the 9th. And then you'll have the 10th and the 11th to pick them up. And then you got to use them by the 17th. So it's all got dates on it or whatever. But just tag 10 people in the comments down below. And if you're one of the first 10, then you're going to get the 10 Decades dollars. Just you can figure it out if you're the first 10. But we'll message you and tell you you're one of the winners of the 10 by 10 contest or whatever. And you can come in and pick up your Decades dollars. But you have to do it no later than close of business on Friday, which means at 8 o'clock, because we have the Luck of the Irish event coming up on that night. And then you'll have, I guess, a week to use them. But it's real cool. I mean, it's real. They're real money as far as we're concerned. It's dollar for dollar. You can't get change.